Hi, I'm David Soper, and today I'll be going through an overview of Cisco Intersight CLI called isctl. And there's a GitHub repo for it, the isctl repo. And within that is a README. It says information on installation for any of the operating systems, and also links out to the documentation, including a user's guide. In the user's guide, it has how to configure isctl and run through common operations. So I'll switch over to a terminal here and I'll run through that isctl configuration step. I've already have this configured in my environment. In this configuration, you can enter your API key ID, your secret key. You can also set the fully qualified domain name for the endpoint. Default is intersight.com. You can change that if you need to use the EU instance of Intersight or if you're using a virtual appliance. Once that configuration is in place, I'll run my first query, which is a get of NTP policies in my Intersight account. And this provides nice formatting for those variety of NTP policies, including their name and NTP servers. Now we'll take a look at getting resources and formatting output. So in isctl, I can run the help command, and I see kind of there in the middle of the screen the get operation to get or list resources. And if I run help on the get command, I see the variety of resources I can get information for. I'm going to start out with the AAA resource, and specifically I'm going to look there again, middle of the screen, for audit records. So if I go and run a get AAA audit records, this has a lot of information. Output probably isn't in the best format. So now I will go in and look at that help again. And down near the bottom there, I see that -O option for an output string. And I can run a little more advanced query here where I'm going to do a get of those audit records. I'm going to auto-paginate results, which is going to page through the API. By default, just returns 100. You can set up to 1,000 to be returned. isctl has a nice feature here where I can auto-paginate, and it will actually walk through the API 1,000 resources at a time. I'm also going to use a filter here. So isctl supports all the query parameters in the API, and I'm going to filter just to audit records for my email or that were created by me. And I've got that final argument there, that -O, and I'm going to do it in Excel format. So when I run that, I see isctl paging through the API 1,000 results at a time, and then writing output to my Excel file. I can take a look now at that Excel file. I've got a nice format here with all of the information coming back from those audit records in a hopefully easy to consume format. To finish that, I'll take a look at configuring resources with isctl. Again, back in the user's guide, got links for creating, updating, and deleting objects. This has some of the nice features in creating any of the resources in Intersight's API and how to run bulk operations. And these can be done pretty easily using YAML configuration files. So now I'll switch back over to a terminal. From the isctl repo, you can clone that repo, and there's a set of examples. I'm in the server profile examples directory, and if I look at everything in here, this has configuration files for my pools in Intersight, the policies in Intersight, server profile templates, and server profiles. So the user's guide and help pages have additional information on using those config files to apply configuration. I can go run a isctl apply. I'm just going to do the pools here. My account doesn't have the right settings for all the servers to assign here, but I can run that, and I see isctl go and create my different pools in Intersight. And then I can look in Intersight, I can see those IMM-server pool, UUID, and MAC pools that have been created. And another nice thing with isctl, I can also go and delete anything that I've created. So using that same config file, I just append the -D to that command line operation, and it goes in and deletes what I've created. So back in Intersight, if I refresh this page, I see that those have been deleted as expected. Thanks for the time, and be sure and visit intersight.com/help for more information.